So go ahead and sit comfortably. We'll be here for just a couple of minutes as we get centered. You can cross your legs if you'd like to. You could extend one or both legs forward. Just be comfortable as much as you can, right? Go ahead. And before you settle in too deeply, allow your shoulders to shrug up towards your ears. And then take them behind you, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and then relax your shoulders down, creating a bit more space in the front of the chest, a little bit more elongation in the spine, and allow your arms to be heavy as your eyes close. Good. Now start by bringing some deeper breaths to your system, feeling your belly and lungs fill as you inhale, belly and chest, I mean, and exhale, feel all of that relax. Full breaths in, full breaths out. And as you're taking these deeper breaths, I'd like you just to be aware of how your body is doing today, here in this moment. Maybe there's some tension or soreness or tightness. Maybe just other awarenesses that there's some spaces in the body that feel relaxed and open. If there is tension, maybe setting an intention to bring some space to those areas of the body through our practice today. Just a couple more breaths, really helping us to ground in. And then take an even deeper, fuller breath. Bring your palms together in front of you and lower the chin. Just honor yourself just as you are in this moment. All of that awareness, this body, this breath, how you feel energetically, your mind. And may our practice tonight be in service of all of that. So rubbing the palms together, creating heat between the hands. And then take the heated palms over your eyes, brushing gently over the top of your head and down your neck, bringing yourself back to the space around you. Welcome back. Good. So go ahead and move your props off to the sides, and we're going to come onto hands and knees to start. Table pose. Good. So bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Your knees are beneath your hips or just a little bit further back. And we'll start with some what we call cat-cow poses. So with your inhale, look forward and feel the tailbone lift behind you. And then with your exhale, round the back, tuck the chin and tail under. Feel the mid-back reach toward the ceiling. Then inhale, drop the chest again, look forward and feel the tailbone lift again. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, look forward. And just continue to move between these two postures on your breath. Just beginning to warm up the spine here. Good. We'll make this just a bit more dynamic. So take your time, but with your next exhale, go all the way back to child's pose, sinking your hips toward your heels, forehead toward the floor. Then inhale, float right back up to hands and knees. And then again, float back to child's pose. Inhale back up to hands and knees and continue to move between these two postures on your breath. Good. A couple more times. Feeling the movement in the shoulders and in your hips, your knees. And then coming to hands and knees with your next inhale. Curl your toes under, lift the hips into the air, downward facing dog. Good, and we're gonna stay here for a bit. Now, as we stay here, we can walk it out. Press the heel to the floor and bend the opposite knee. Breathing length into one leg, and then breathing length into the other leg. And feel your hips reaching toward the ceiling behind you, so you're keeping the back relatively flat. Or at least that's the goal here. Good. One more big breath here and down dog. And then inhale, gently float back down onto hands and knees. Release the feet and exhale, child's pose. And stay here for a breath or two. Just noticing the sensation that we've cultivated in the body so far. Good. And then go ahead and come up to hands and knees. Good. So I'm going to turn to face you, but you can stay facing forward on your mat as you are already. Good. Yeah, just run around here. So from here, you're going to step your right foot out to the side. Okay. Now the leg is in line with both hip bones. The hands stay on the floor, just showing you. So it's not too far forward, not too far back. And you're grounding through the pinky edge of that right foot. Now the hands remain underneath the shoulders. And then roll the shoulders down the back and then dip your lower back a little bit to reach your tailbone toward the ceiling. Okay. Now, as you do that, you might already start to feel a stretch on the inner thigh. To help emphasize that, if you want to, keep the tailbone lifting and then glide backwards. Good. And inhale, come back up. Then exhale again, glide backwards. And then inhale, come back up. We're going to do a few more. And really, the thing to remember here, well, things to remember, plural, is to keep the right foot flat on the floor, especially that pinky edge, and then to keep the tailbone lifting toward the ceiling behind you. Let's do two more. Good. Now, keeping the tailbone lifting, glide back to your furthest point and stay and breathe. Good. All right. Inhale, come back up. Good job. And step your right leg in. And we're just going to do the other side. Step your left foot out to the side. Again, leg is in line with both hip bones. You're grounding through the pinky edge of that left foot. Good. Now, again, shoulders down the back, lift your tailbone toward the ceiling. Good. Begin to glide backwards. And then come back up. And we'll do about 5 or 6 total. And again, the reminder here, keep the left foot grounding, especially the pinky edge, and keep the tailbone lifting behind you. Let's do 2 more. Keep the tail lifting. Again, creating that little bit of a dip in the lower back. And then as you glide back this time, go ahead and stay. And breathe. right, inhale, come back up and step that left leg back in. And then step your uh, right leg back out on the other side. So again, leg is in line with the hips, grounding through the pinky edge of that foot. We're gonna do a different exercise now. So hands staying underneath your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, bend the knee, sink down sideways into the hip. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale again, sink sideways into the hip. Inhale, come back up, and let's do a few more. Exhale, sink. Inhale, straighten the leg. Just getting into the hips a little bit tonight. And then as you bend the right knee this time, sinking sideways, go ahead and stay. Now, for stability, you can bring your hands further to the right and breathe. Good. Go ahead and straighten that leg. Walk your hands back under the shoulders. Step the leg in and step the left leg straight out again, grounding the foot. Same exercise, different side. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knee, sink sideways into the hip. Then inhale, straighten the leg. Then again, exhale, sink sideways into the hip. Inhale, straighten the leg. We'll do a few more rounds on your own, sinking in. And as you sink to the side this time, go ahead and stay. Again, the hands can join you and breathe. Good. Inhale, straighten that leg. Step it on in. Good. Go ahead and sink back to child's pose for a moment. Nice symmetrical stretch after all that asymmetrical work. Good. Inhale, come back up. All right. Bending your elbows and toward your waist. Bring your chest down to the floor. Release the hips back and have your hands underneath your shoulders, elbows bent and elbows squeezing in towards your sides. Good. Now feel the pelvis grounding into the floor here. And with your next inhale, roll the shoulders down the back, let the head, chest, and your legs off the floor, coming into locust pose. Good. Exhale, release down. Let's do that again. Inhale, locust pose. Head, chest, and legs lift. Elbows stay bent, squeezing into your sides. Exhale, release. A few more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Coming into the pose, let's hold. Squeezing up. Again, elbows are bent, squeezing in towards your sides. Inner thighs are lifting. The heart's looking forward. And you're breathing. Deep breath in. And float on down. Exhale. Take an adjusting breath here. Beautiful. All right. When you're ready, curl the toes under. Go ahead and push up the hands and knees, and let's lift into downward facing dog. You may need to walk your feet forward a few inches. Good. Then after a breath or two in down dog, go ahead and walk your hands back to meet your feet, coming into the standing forward fold. And the knees are just gently bent here, just a little bit of a give to them. Just drape the upper body down over the legs, releasing the head, neck, shoulders, arms. Anything else you can release here, release it. And notice where you're resting the weight of your body in your feet. And if it's more toward the back of the feet, the heels, just lean forward slightly. You'll take more of the stretch into the backs of the legs and your lower back. All right, with your next inhale, press palms to shins. Come halfway up, looking at the floor, chest parallel to the ground. And then exhale, fold back down again. Let's do that a couple more times too. Palms to shins, halfway up, inhale. And exhale, fold. One more time, halfway up and down. With your next inhale, sweep your arms out to the sides, strong back, lift all the way up to standing, arms overhead. And then release your arms on down. Good. Feel sensation as we've arrived at a standing posture. Good. So let's do some work for our shoulders and to create some length in the sides of our bodies. So standing nice and tall, feet stacking underneath the hips. The first thing I'm going to have you do is take your left foot and take it across to the opposite side of your right foot, or as far to that side as you can here. Okay. Now it's your left leg going across. It's your left arm that goes into the air. You're going to reach up and grab the wrist and traction it toward the ceiling. And if this leg thing is too much of an imbalance, just uncross them and stack them underneath your hips. But after a couple of breaths here, go ahead and just lean to the right. You're kind of creating this crescent or banana shape with your body. Good. Coming back up. Release the arms and uncross the legs. Good. Let's see what that feels like on the other side. Taking your right foot forward and across, lifting your right arm into the air. Reach up and grab the wrist, traction it toward the ceiling. Stay for a couple breaths. Good. And then you can start to tilt to the left. And taking deep breaths here. Good. Go ahead and come back up. Release the arms and uncross. All right, so next thing we're going to do is a stretch for our shoulders. If you come to chair yoga, you have done this with me many, many times, but we've not had chair yoga in a few weeks, so you probably need this by now. So go ahead and lift your left arm overhead, bend the elbow, taking the hand behind your head. With your right hand, reach up and grab the elbow or forearm and pull the elbow toward the center line of your body. Good. Now the hand that's floating behind you, go ahead and bend the elbow deeper, bring it as close to your spine as you can, and then lift your chest. Good. Now we're going to stay here and breathe a bit, all right? I know this can be uncomfortable. We're going to breathe about it. Just breathe about it. Try to relax your jaw here. It's actually a good pose for this little thought that I'm having right now. So just keep holding it. This will help pass the time. When we feel uncomfortable in our bodies, like say we're uncomfortable in our shoulders right now, we start to clench in places that actually don't help make you feel better. So we clench our teeth, we grimace our face, we tighten our bellies and squeeze our feet. Relax all of that extra effort. It's not helping. It's not helping. And breathe. And you might notice if you're able to soften some of that extra effort, that the intensity in the shoulder softens. Maybe. Okay, that's good on this side. Don't drop the arm. Carefully release it. Feel it unfurl next to you and just notice sensation in the shoulder girdle, the arm and hand, and anywhere else that's feeling something right now about it. Good. Side number two. Take your right arm into the air. Bend the elbow, hand behind your head. Reach up and grab the forearm or the elbow and traction it toward the midline of your body again. Same instructions here. The hand behind you, bend the elbow deeper, bring it as close to your spine as you can, and then lift the chest and breathe. Good. Now, I've already given you the spiel about when you create tension in your body when you don't need to. So just notice if that starts to activate. So again, that's like the face clenching, the jaw clenching, the feet gripping, the belly tightening, soften all that. And what that is, it's kind of residue from your nervous system. So when we're uncomfortable, we often trigger into our fight or flight response, our sympathetic nervous system. But the thing is that at least with this pose, you don't need to do that. It's just uncomfortable. It's not actually a life-threatening situation, hopefully. So we know that when that happens, we can just soften all of that extraneous effort. We don't need to. Let that be your mantra, your motto for this year. Let go of the extra effort. We already work so hard just to live and survive in this world. Let go of that extra effort that's not really making a difference right now. One more breath here. And then don't drop it. Just carefully release it and feel sensation. Oh, I'm right-handed, so this arm is more developed and I can feel it. You can feel it. It's a good release, a good release. All right. So make sure there's nothing too close behind you. We're gonna do some arm movements here, and I just wanna make sure you're not gonna slap anything, ideally, all right? So you can just have your feet just nice, stable stance, and just take your arms forward, up, and back. Just making these big windmill arms with the arms. And breathe as you do this, just feeling the full rotation of your shoulder joints. Good, then go the other way, swooping back up and forward, back up and forward. Again, full rotation of the shoulder joints. Try not to hit the microphone with my arm. 3, 2, last one, and release. Good. Shoulders feeling nice and open, soft, stretched out. Good. So the next thing we're gonna do is a stretch for your hips. So I'm gonna ask you to turn sideways on your mat and take a wide stance. And you're gonna have your toes pointing directly forward. If anything, they're pigeon toeing a little bit. Don't have them out to the sides, okay? All right, so a little bit of work for the back first, and then I promise we'll get into the hips, like I said. Take your arms down in front of you. With your inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. With your exhale, swan dive forward, hinging at the hips, folding down over wide legs. And then inhale, reverse that. Sweep the arms up to the sides, coming all the way back up. And then exhale, fold all the way back down. Inhale all the way back up. And exhale all the way back down. We're going to do a few more of these. Strengthening the back, lengthening the legs and spine. There's some flexion in the hip as well. Good. Now, as you fold forward this time, go ahead and just stay in the forward fold. Your hands can be on the floor, maybe holding onto the shins. Knees are just a little bit bent, not locked. Good. And then with your hands or fingertips on the floor, bring yourself up halfway, chest parallel to the floor. Now, if the floor feels far away, you could bring yoga blocks under your hands if you have them handy. Good. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, bend your left knee and sink down sideways into the hip. Good. Inhale, straighten the leg. Then exhale, bend your right knee, sink down into that hip. Inhale back up. Exhale, bend the left knee, sink down. Inhale back up, bend the right knee, sink down. And just keep moving from side to side. Keep both feet flat on the floor the entire time. I know it can be tempting to lift the foot of the extended leg. That's not what we're doing here. Side to side, exhale, sinking in, inhale, straightening the leg. Couple more times. And now take your time getting there. But as you bend the left knee, this time, please stay. You can walk your hands further to the left if you'd like to, and just hang out for about 3 to 5 breaths. And it's a big range, but it depends on how fast you're breathing. Good. Inhale, straighten the leg. Don't think about it, just do it. Bend your right knee. You can walk your hands to the right if you'd like. Breathing here. Good. Inhale, straighten the right leg and fold forward. All right, one more exercise here. Then I promise we'll do something else and give these hips a break. So bring yourself up halfway once again. I'm going to ask you to bring your hands onto your shins. Good. And you're going to try to keep your chest parallel to the floor and your hips and your chest on the same flat level plane. So you're not going to be dipping down here and you're not going to be lifting the chest either. Everything stays on the same flat plane, which is parallel to the floor. Take a deep breath in. And with your exhale, bend both knees forward and sink down into a squat. Now again, check and make sure your chest is parallel to the floor and not dipping forward or up. And try to keep the hips on the same plane as well. And we're just going to hang out here for about 30 seconds. Breathe into it. It's a long 30 seconds. You ever want time to slow down? Just come into this pose. It'll slow right down for you. One more big breath. And then inhale, straighten the legs, bring the hands to the floor, fold forward. Good. With your next inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides, come all the way up, standing, and release the arms on down. Good job with those hips. So we're going to move into a sun salutation next. So whichever direction is the front of your mat, turn your foot that way and step on up. Good. Bring the feet stacking underneath your hips and bring your palms to your heart. Take a moment just to find your breath, find your calm, steady center if you've moved away from it. And we'll work with a lunge today. In our sun salutation, we'll also throw in some chair pose and revisit locust pose as well. So when you are ready, inhale, sweep the arms down, back, and up. Exhale, bend both knees, sweep your arms behind you, chair prep. Keep the knees bent as you lift your arms up into chair pose. Now stay here for the exhale. Then inhale, straighten the legs, reach up. And exhale, hinge at the hips and swan dive forward. Good. Pressing palms to shins, come halfway up, inhale. And exhale, fold down. Please step your right foot way, way back. Bring the back knee to the floor, sink into the hips. And then inhale, reach the arms forward, up, and back, coming into the crescent lunge. Beautiful. Exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. Curl your back toes under and step the left foot back into downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, float down onto hands and knees. Exhale, do a chest press. Bring the chest down to the floor. Release the hips back, hands under your shoulders, elbows squeezing in. Round your pelvis. Inhale, lift the head, chest, and legs, locust pose. And exhale, release down. Curl the toes under, push up to hands and knees, and then lift the hips into downward facing dog. Good. In downward facing dog, lift your right leg into the air behind you. And with your exhale, swing or carry step the right foot forward. Help it through if it doesn't make it on the first try, the foot between the hands. Bring the left knee down to the floor behind you. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, up and back, coming into the crescent lunge. And then exhale, bring the hands to the floor and step the left foot forward, standing forward fold. Palms to shins, halfway up here, inhale. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sides, come all the way up to standing or reaching overhead, and then bring your palms to your heart. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, sweep the arms down, back and up. Exhale, bend the knees, chair prep, sweep the arms behind you. Then inhale, chair pose, bring them up. Exhale, sink into the pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Good, palms to shins, halfway up. Then exhale, fold down. Please step your left foot back this time. Back knee to the ground, crescent lunge. And then exhale, bring the hands to the floor and step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale down onto hands and knees. Exhale, bring the chest to the floor and release your hips back, coming onto your belly. Ground your pelvis, lift the head, chest, and legs, locust. Exhale, release. Good. Curl the toes under, push up and back into downward facing dog. And in down dog, lift the left leg high and step the foot forward, help it through. Back knee to the floor. Inhale, crescent lunge, lift the arms up and back. And then exhale, bring the hands down and step the right foot forward, standing forward fold. Please bring your palms to your shins, come halfway up, inhale. Exhale, fold down. Sweep the arms out to the sides, inhale, come all the way up to standing. And palms to the heart. And we're going to keep this energy moving. So with your inhale, sweep down and up. Bend the knees, chair prep, chair pose. And lift and fold. Halfway up. And down. Please step your right foot back this time. Back knee to the floor, crescent lunge. Hands down, downward facing dog, stepping back. Inhale down onto hands and knees. Exhale, chest press, coming onto the belly. Ground the pelvis. Inhale, lift into locust pose, head, chest, and legs. Exhale, release down. Curl the toes under, push up. and back to downward facing dog. Once you get there, lift your right leg high and step it on through. Back knee down, crescent lunge. Beautiful. Hands down, step forward. Palms to shins. Exhale, release. Sweep the arms out to the sides, come all the way up, inhale. Palms to the heart. Again, inhale, sweep down and up. Bend the knees, chair prep. Chair pose. Good, inhale, lift. And exhale, fold forward. Palms to shins. Exhale, release, step the left foot back. Back knee down, crescent lunge. Good, hands to the floor, downward facing dog. Step the right foot back. Inhale, down onto hands and knees. Exhale, chest press. Release the hips, ground the pelvis, lift the head, chest, and legs, locust pose. Exhale, release. Curl the toes under. Push up and back. Good. Left leg lifts when you get there. Step it on through. Back knee to the ground, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands down. Go ahead and step forward. Palms to shins. Exhale, release. Sweep the arms out to the sides, coming all the way up. And palms to the heart. Take an adjusting breath before we do our final round. Noticing sensation, your breath rate, your heart rate, what's going on in your body. Not spending too much time qualifying what's going on in your body. It's just a sensation. Just let it be a sensation. And on this last round, we'll move through the same exact flow, but we're going to spend some time in a couple of different postures. Okay? So, palms of the heart connecting to your breath. With your next inhale, sweep down, back, and up. Exhale, chair prep, chair pose. And here we stay forever. It'll feel like it, but it'll really just be about 5 breaths. Again, if you want time to slow down, do some of these poses. It's all about perspective. Sink down a little bit further and stay for one more breath for me. And then inhale, reach up, straighten the legs. And exhale, swan dive, folding down. Good. Palms to shins, please. Exhale, release, and step your right foot way, way back. Knee to the ground. Inhale, crescent lunge. Good. Interlace your fingers, bring them onto the front thigh. Good. Now just feel the hips sink down and forward here. Roll the shoulders down the back and start to turn the chest toward the ceiling. And breathe. Please take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, go ahead and bring the hands to the floor and step on back, downward facing dog. All right, inhale, float down onto hands and knees. Bring the chest to the floor, release the hips back. You guessed it, we're gonna hold locust pose, so ground the pelvis. With your inhale, lift the head, chest, and the legs. Now, once you're here, we're staying for about 5 breaths. I want you to get light on your hands, maybe even give just a little bit of space between your hands and the mat. Really recruiting your lower back to keep you lifted here. Inhale to your highest point, and exhale, don't collapse, float on down. All right, curling toes under, push up, and back. Downward facing dog. Stay here for about 5 breaths as well. All right, finishing out this lunge series, lift your right leg and step it through. Foot between the hands, back knee to the floor. Inhale, lift the arms up, crescent lunge. Interlacing the fingers as you come down, bring them onto the front thigh and feel the hips sink down and forward. Roll the shoulders down the back and start to turn the chest toward the ceiling. Breathe. Deep breath in here. And exhale, bring the hands to the floor. Curl the back toes under and step forward. Palms to shins halfway up. And exhale, release. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides, coming all the way up. And palms to your heart. Great job. Feel sensation, what's going on in the body. Maybe it's down in the hips and the legs. Maybe it's in the back. Maybe the front of the chest. Maybe the shoulders. None of that, all of that, something else. Good. Bringing your awareness on back. Great job with that sun salutation. I can feel that you did it well. So I'm going to ask you to take a wide stance on your yoga mat one more time. We're not quite done with the hips just yet, all right? Nice wide yoga stance, or leg stance. You get what I mean. You get what I mean. So I'm going to ask you this time, instead of having the toes directly forward, to take them out to the sides about 45 degrees. And this lets the knees bend a little bit more for a squat, all right? So that's what we're going to do. So you can bring your hands onto your hips. And what you can do here, just to keep the length in your spine and not collapsing forward, is to think about drawing your elbows together behind you. And that's a directional movement. Like, I doubt you'll actually be able to bring them all the way together, but what it does is helps to keep the spine elongated and the chest open. All right. So taking a deep breath in. With your exhale, bend your knees out toward the toes, sink down. Then inhale, lift right back up. Good. Exhale, sink back down. And inhale, lift back up. Exhale, sink down. And lift up. You're doing great. Sink down. And up. And down. And inhale, back up. Watch me do this next part because it's taking what we just did a step further, all right? Now with a singular exhale, it's gonna be a two-part exhale. We're going to bend the knees and then drop the chest, bringing it parallel to the floor. And then with a two-part inhale, we'll lift the chest first, then straighten the legs. So it's exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale. All right, you ready? Squeeze those elbows together behind you. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees and bring the chest parallel to the floor. And then lift the chest first, then straighten the legs. Do that in that sequence. Bend the knees first, then drop the chest. Lift the chest first, then straighten the legs. Keep going. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. A few more times. Exhale. Exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale. We're going to hold it this time, all right? So when you're ready, bend the knees, bring the chest parallel to the floor and hang out here and breathe here. Two more breaths. You're almost there. Still a two-part inhale. Lift the chest first, then straighten the legs. And relax the arms. Just feel for a moment. Good. Nice back strengthening, nice hip opening. Just kind of feeling into what might need to happen next. Let's give our necks just a little bit more length, okay? And so we did arm up and over before for the shoulder. Next thing we can do is still traction the shoulder, but give a little space to the neck. Again, if you come to chair yoga, you've probably done something similar to this before, okay? Go ahead and bring your feet together if you'd like to, or you can keep them wide. It's really up to you. We're gonna work with the mid back up. So let your left arm hang down next to you. With your right hand, reach behind your back and either grab above or below the elbow. Okay? And just feel that left shoulder traction down toward the floor. Now, with that engagement, you're going to drop your right ear to your right shoulder, feeling some length on that left side, and maybe drop your chin towards your collarbone a little bit. And just take some deep breaths here. Good. All right. Go ahead and roll your chin down to your chest. Lift the head up through center and release the arm. Good. I hope you like that because we have to do the other side. So let your right arm hang heavy next to you. With your left hand, reach behind your back. And again, grab either above or below the elbow joint, tractioning the right shoulder downward. Once that engagement has happened, go ahead and drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. And again, you can round your chin down towards your left collarbone if you'd like. And just take some gentle breaths here, feeling that stretch on the right side of your neck and the top of the right shoulder. Deep breaths in and out. Good. Then go ahead and roll your chin down to your chest. Lift the head up to center and release that arm. There we go. There we go. So from where you're standing now, just go ahead and fold forward, standing forward fold, just like before. It might feel different than it has before. Release the arms, the shoulders, the neck, the head. And then from here, move your way into downward facing dog. And then float down onto hands and knees. Release your feet and exhale, sink back into child's pose. So go ahead and bring yourself back up. I'm going to have you roll over onto your back. We still have a few more postures to do to help unwind from all the work we've done tonight, but we'll do them down here on our backs, okay? All right. So once you're there, go ahead and bring your feet flat to the floor. Stack your heels underneath your knees and have your feet about hip width apart, okay? Your arms can just relax by your sides. And when you're ready, press the feet into the floor, lift the hips into the air, coming into bridge pose. Good. We're going to hang out here for a little bit. And with your inhale, I want you to feel your chest bow further towards your chin, deepening the back bend in your upper back. And then with your exhale, reinforce your pelvis toward the ceiling. So inhale, chest toward your chin, and exhale, pelvis toward the ceiling. Inhale, chest to chin. Exhale, pelvis to the sky. Stay for one more breath, pressing up to your highest point. And then with your next exhale very slowly over the course of 3 breaths, bring the hips back down to the floor. Very slow. Beautiful. All right, great job. Go ahead and bring your knees into your chest and take your arms out to the side, making a T shape with your body. Take a deep breath in, and with your exhale, allow your knees to fall to your left. Feel your right shoulder ground and turn your chin to the right, coming into a nice little twist here. Just taking some deep breaths. All right, with your next inhale, carefully come back to center and take your time as you switch sides. The knees go to the right this time. Feel your left shoulder anchor back behind you and turn your chin to the left as well. Good. Inhale, carefully unwind. Hug your knees into your chest. I'm just feeling this gentle, symmetrical stretch. And now when you feel complete here, go ahead and extend your legs down to the floor. And now is the time to rest. You've arrived, you've made it, you've earned it. Not that you had to earn rest, but you have in this case. And just let your feet flop out to the sides, your arms by your sides, palms face up. Relax your jaw, your face, your eyes, your belly. Now, often when we come into this pose here at the end of our practice, the mind can start projecting further into the future. Like, what are we going to do when we're done here? We'll make dinner. We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll get ready for tomorrow. Don't worry about that right now, even though I just named it. Try to stay present. And so, what you can do is you can hear kind of an internal motto or mantra as you breathe. So, as you inhale, hear in the back of your mind, I have arrived. I have arrived. And as you exhale, hear in the back of your mind, I am here. Inhale, I have arrived. And exhale, I am here. I have arrived. I am here. Peace, peace, peace. You have arrived. You are here. And take a deeper breath into here. And begin to make some gentle movements in your hands and feet, your arms and legs. And slowly rolling to your right side. before transitioning up to a comfortable seat. So once you've made it to a seat, go ahead and bring your palms to your heart and lower the chin. And honor yourself for the work you've done here tonight. Gratitude for all the willpower and effort you put forth. And may that effort and this practice continue to serve you. So until we meet again, namaste.